In this clip from the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, Joe Rogan explores the growing conspiracy theories surrounding the shocking assassination of Charlie Kirk.
According to the narrative. Now, let's be real clear. I don't necessarily think they know what's going on yet. There's a lot of weird shit going on with this.
I know.
First of all, there was that one guy who was the decoy. All right, so you got this guy who's an older guy who starts yelling out. Didn't he take his pants down? He took his pants down. This guy was at 9/11. He was at the Boston bombing.
All the hits.
He called in a fake bomb at another place, and then he did this at this thing. So somehow or another, this guy has the state of mind that the moment someone gets shot, he yells out and says, I did it, and takes his pants down or something like that. I don't know exactly what he did. Then, ready for this? He gets arrested for child right away.
Right after this happened?
Oh, right away. He's in jail for child. Why is that? Well, now you can't interview him.
Right. Right.
Right. And because when the internet people start going, how are you at all these different things? Like, what are the odds? Like, if someone ran it through one of the ChatGPT perplexity things, like, what are the odds that this guy would be at all those different events and be involved? Like, zero. I'm not saying this guy isn't insane. He's clearly insane. Or not. Or he's professionally insane.
Right.
That's where it gets squirrely.
I almost texted you when the Charlie Kirk thing happened because my antennas went up about, they showed the photo of that kid, or the guy that they have, the 22-year-old. Do you think he's got the capability to do that?
Yeah, well, listen, there are people that look like that have the capability to do that.
Pretty accurate.
Nope.
No?
Not hard. Not hard at all. Let me dispel that. Okay. 200 yards from a prone position with a dead-on rifle. So if you have a dead-on rifle, so you set this rifle, you set your 0 to 200 yards, right? You know how far you're going to shoot. It is not hard at all.
He shot a lot?
You don't have to shoot a lot. So I could do it tomorrow.
If you're no, but you are experienced. If it's someone that's never shot, could they do it?
100%. Not
really?
If they've never shot, they wouldn't know where to look. They'd have a hard time acquiring. When you look through a scope, like when the reticle is weird, like it sometimes
takes a minute.
You got to know the distance that you have to be from it to really line it up in your sights. But you could get a guy like my friend Andy Stumpf, who was a sniper in the SEALs. You could get him, and he could show you how to do it in an afternoon, and then you could hit steel at 200 yards every time you pull the trigger.
One day you could learn that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Not that hard.
Because it feels insane to me. I'm like, that seems tough.
It seems tough. We still haven't figured out whether or not the gun that shot Trump had a sight on it, because we weren't sure if it had a sight on it or if this guy was using iron sights. That was 140 yards. If you shot it with iron sights, that's a lot harder, because iron sights is you're lining up. So you have these two things in the back and there's one thing at the front of the barrel, and you got to line those bitches up perfectly, and that's how you stay accurate. That is a lot harder to do.
It's like old shotguns have those, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Pistols.
Yeah,
like
pistols.
You buy a Glock, that's what it comes with.
Right.
But this kid had a rifle with a scope. Now, here's where it gets weird. The first images of this rifle with a scope, I swear to God, it looks like he has a composite stock on it. Like, it looks like a modern 30-06 rifle. So a 30-06, so that's the rifle. 30-06 is like, that looks like a very modern-looking stock. I mean, it might not be. It might be just a bad resolution. It might be wood. It's hard to tell. But if you showed me that and you said, hey, this is my cousin's rifle, is this any good? I'd be like, looks like a standard bolt-action rifle with like a sophisticated modern scope on it. Sure. Now, apparently, the narrative is that this is his grandfather's rifle from World War I and doesn't have a serial code. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, why? Wait. Why are you using such an old gun? Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, is it possible that an old gun can be that accurate? If you have a gunsmith and they work on it, yeah, it's totally possible. You have a really good gunsmith and he sets, if you're like a nostalgic person, you like driving an old car, you could bring it to a mechanic, they could redo the brakes.
Sure.
So if you got a good gunsmith and he took a look at that and the action was true and, you know, the bore is good, you know, yeah, you could conceivably shoot with a gun for hundreds of years, right? Guns don't necessarily go bad.
Right, they don't expire.
Right, and especially because all the stuff, like the trigger and the action and all that different stuff is replaceable, so you could just, like, it's compartmentalized, it's components. That's the other thing. They said that he took it apart and then put it back together again, shut the fuck up. Do you know how much time it would take to do that if you were highly skilled?
To disassemble a gun.
To disassemble a rifle so that you can get it in a backpack. And by the way, not going to fit.
Not going to fit in a backpack.
And then somehow or another reconnects it once he gets off the roof? What's that about?
Is that what they pitched, huh?
Yeah. Here's the other problem. If you shoot something, okay, like say if I take you to a long range shooting range and we sit there and we get you on a bench and you're sitting there and you go, okay, we're going live, and you flip off the safety and then you squeeze out that trigger, you hear boom, pink. There's a gap in 200 yards between the shot going off and the impact. There's a gap. Right. 200 yards is far. Even if that bullet is go, it still takes time to get there. And really long shots, they're shooting steel targets like that big at a mile plus. And he's like, dude, the hang time is crazy. It's like seconds.
You hear separation. It just,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
trip.
you're watching it through the binoculars, too. It's like somebody else is watching it. So you got a guy next to you that's a spotter. And you shoot, boom, and he's like, hit.
Oh,
Literally.
it's nuts.
It's that long. So the Charlie Kirk thing seemed instant. It was like, boom, he was down.
Instant.
Boom, down.
So you think it was closer?
It could have been closer, or it could be the echo from that gun. By the time the sound gets to you, the bullet gets, because it takes longer for sound to get there, right? Because these bullets are supersonic. So the bullet will actually get there before the sound gets there. So that's something to take into consideration.
God, it's a trip.
So it probably can't. Now that I'm thinking of myself, I'm like, well, that's a dumb, like, I had a dumb point. Because the bullet is actually faster than sound. But I don't buy the reassembly. I do not buy that. They said he had a screwdriver up there. Fuck yourself.
A screwdriver?
Yeah, you need more than a screwdriver. You need multiple tools. Okay, you need Allen wrenches.
Away.
You need like specific gunsmith tools. It's complicated. I've got a video of a guy breaking down a Mauser, and so this Mauser is the same exact gun that supposedly this dude had, his grandpa had in World War I, and he's totally calm.
Yeah.
And he didn't just shoot a guy.
Right.
And then he's supposed to get it in that stupid backpack. It's literally, it makes no sense. It would take me a lot longer than it took him.
And that kid, it would take forever.
Unless this kid has secretly been training like John Wick for the past 6 months. So this is just a narrative, right?
Yeah.
We watch a guy jump off the roof and then we supposedly find this rifle. So if you can have a guy that's in the audience that's yelling, I shot him, now shoot me. I shot him, now shoot me. And then that guy gets arrested for child charges. Like, he's like, what is going on here?
So
and then you
weird.
find this rifle and then you say, oh, he assembled it and he reassembled it. Like, okay. If I wish I was a cop, I'd sit in a room like, this story is horseshit. Like,
Yeah.
none of these things make any sense to me. Like, you're telling me that this kid who's not military trained, this guy, first of all, how did he get to the roof? How come nobody was looking? How come nobody was like, there's a direct line of sight between where he's sitting and those roofs? You guys didn't check? You don't have a drone? Like, that's insane. So he's on the roof, he shoots, he jumps from the roof. He jumps down 14 feet, jumps off of the roof and lands, whether or not he's even the guy who shot him. Maybe he thought he was going to shoot him. Maybe he's a patsy. Maybe he did it.
I feel like he's a plant. Did you see the video? Did you see the person doing the investigating on his mom's Facebook?
But here's the thing. Just like I was talking about when people are arguing on social media, it's all part of the plan. If you want people to lose all faith that anyone is going to solve anything.
Yeah.
You add a bunch of, if you're going to kill a guy, you add a bunch of other wacky shit that doesn't make any sense and you spam it out there at the same time. You leave a gun that didn't do it out in the woods. You do a bunch of shit like that.
You have an old man put his out and yell, I did it, I did it.
Yeah, you get some kid who has a boyfriend who's a furry, and you
boyfriend is a
talk to him on
furry?
Discord. I think he's a furry. I
that
don't
a-
want to disrespect.
I don't know if that's a
He's
real
definitely
thing.
His boyfriend's definitely a guy who became a girl.
I just don't know. Something doesn't add up about
Something
that kid.
doesn't add up.
It feels weird.
The whole thing feels weird.